Good morning. Welcome to a beautiful sunny day in December in southern Idaho. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope that you have a wonderful time of year. Spend some time with your family and friends. Hopefully we'll get some snow here in southern Idaho. We rely on snow pretty significantly for our crops and agriculture that's in this area. Working on Jeeps again today. I've got a project to show you that I've been kind of working on off and on for a little while, and it's time to show you what I've been doing with it. So let's head down to the shop and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, get some heat going in here. It's a little chilly today. So we've always got a number of projects in the shop we're working on. Different people's rigs, different projects of my own, different projects of, yeah, just all kinds of projects. Recently we've been building up some motors. Got this real nice 350 Chevy that we've been putting together, and also got a 304 that we've been putting some parts on. You'll remember this one. Still waiting for some parts. I've got some video on this one on the wiring, and we'll bring that to you as well. The project I'd like to tell you about today is this one. So this is a 1966 CJ5, and this little rig is owned by a co-worker of mine. So I work full-time at a hospital here in town. My co-worker purchased this Jeep. It's in amazingly good shape. The body is just in really good shape. I mean, people have done some things to it that are not the best. They cut out for the rear tail lights here. We're gonna patch that. But when he got it, didn't have an engine, didn't have a transmission. And so what I've done is I'm upgrading this for him. We'll come around back here to the front. Due to the space limitation in this little guy, we have installed 151 Iron Duke. This was AMC's 4-cylinder motor. They stole it from GM. It has almost all GM parts on it. But Jeep used them in a lot of CJs over the years. I think in the 80s mostly for fuel economy. They're not much for super powerhouses, but they have pretty good torque for a 4-cylinder. Anyway, this is a newer 4-cylinder that we installed in here. We had to put some motor mounts and stuff in here. We still have some steering and stuff to work on. Behind the engine is a T5. So this T5 was specifically set up for the 151. If you know anything about some of these transmissions, AMC had a T5 built for the 151 that has more splines on the input shaft. And so it's specifically 4-cylinder. Can't remember, I think it has 14 splines if I'm not mistaken. But it fits in there, uses a smaller clutch, smaller pressure plate and whatnot for that. So we installed the 151 behind it. Now what he's going to use this for is just daily driving around, enjoying the open air in this little CJ. What's behind it is Dana 300. That's what AMC put behind these T5s, was the Dana 300. Bolts right in there. I've had to custom fabricate a mount for the transmission and where it goes. Still working on the underside of things, but we're getting there. As you can tell, there's not a whole lot of room for radiator or fan. So we're still working on what to do with the grill. This isn't the grill that came with it. This is a good one that has not been cut up. So I'm hoping not to have to cut it up, but I'm afraid that's not going to be the case. All right, what I've been working on mainly is on this side. So the driver's, basically the driver's control. So we're gonna put some newer controls in here, mainly brakes, steering, wiring harness, clutch pedals, and all that. In order to do that, I had to get this. So this is a firewall, piece of a firewall out of a CJ7. I think it's an 80 or an 83. And this firewall piece, we're gonna put in here, fasten it to this. We're gonna have to cut a few things out so that it will fit. But that firewall piece will enable me to use this hole for the steering column, this for the wiring harness, and this for the brakes. And then I'll just run them all through here and into where they go on the inside. I've got a couple of pedal assemblies in here, a newer one and then an intermediate one. A steering column, you can see right here, it's newer one out of a CJ7 or CJ5 70s and 80s version. But that will enable us to have a little bit more upgraded steering and braking. Now the other thing that is on these, and I don't know if you can see it in the dark here, but this is a closed knuckle. This is a closed knuckle front end. This is a Dana, I think it's a Dana 27. I haven't really checked, honestly. Anyway, so I'm gonna change this front end. This currently has drum brakes and this old style of hub. And I'm gonna change this to a newer version, a narrow track with disc brakes, a Dana 30, I think it is. That will give him a little bit better braking, a little bit better steering capabilities. Now the rear is the Dana 44 that comes in these, and it's not too far offset. It is a little, but I think I can make it work with the transfer case. It'll go at a little bit of an angle, but not too bad. I'm gonna try to keep most of the original stuff if possible. That's kind of what I've been working on. Kind of been waiting for parts, and I've got to figure out how to get the steering box in here. This is gonna have a power steering. This was put in by the previous owner. It's just a piece of angle iron to mount this. It fits with the fenders, but I'm gonna have to cut a hole in here to get the power steering in there so we can get a newer version of power steering in there. So that's kind of what I've been working on. So I've been working on that one, this one, and then this CJ7 back here. This is one that has kind of a long story to it. And we'll be bringing in the brother to this one, actually a bigger brother, which is a scrambler from a new friend of mine down in Reno. This is a CJ7 that has a 304 in it. I'm just upgrading some of the exhaust and intake and whatnot, and then we'll put it back together and drive it. This thing's really been built, and we'll film this one at a different time. But I wanted to show what we've been doing here with some of these projects. There's always something going on in here. I got 3 projects out back that need to be done or worked on, and yeah, there'll be additional videos coming up. So hopefully everyone will stay tuned and keep watching. I'll try and keep videoing this, what we're working on right now and what we have in the shop. Okay, so we're out back now. Just gonna show you a few more projects that we got coming down the line that we'll video and show you how they go. So I've got this J truck, J10, and I've got a 360 AMC that I'm going to put in. Also got this Wagoneer, belongs to a friend of mine in Montana. We'll be putting a T18 manual transmission in it in place of the automatic. I have this that came in not too long ago, CJ7. We'll be putting a 304 in it, and we'll show you how that goes along. Also recently acquired this, also out of Montana. This has got an engine problem. It's got a 360 in it, automatic. It runs and drives, but it's just really bad loss of power. So we got to figure out what that is, and we'll take you through that. Also, I've acquired these two little gems. I don't know if you want to call them gems, but two intermediates. One is a 73 and one is a 71, I believe. Anyway, these will be mostly for parts. I've got unfortunately ran into a tree with his CJ5 and the body on it, and we're gonna see if we can't help him get things figured out. Also got this intermediate with fiberglass tub from a nice couple up in Idaho Falls area. Got to put the motor together in the, well, it's got a motor in it, but it needs to be set up so it can run and drive, and we'll film that one as we go along. Got lots of parts that go in and out, and yeah, it's always busy, always busy. Somewhere down the line I've got to tackle this 71, 72 Ford that I need to change the cab on. I'm not much of a Ford guy, but I know it doesn't have anything to do with Jeeps. It seems like when somebody sees your work and sees what you do, they want you to help them out, and I'm always up for a challenge, I guess. We'll see how it turns out. And then of course I got the wrecker. Got to get the wrecker finished up so I can use it again. I've only needed it like a dozen times since I took it apart. I got some new springs for it, for the rear. Don't like the way it's sitting right now. It's not sitting very straight. I'm going to put the axle back underneath the bottom versus on top of the springs. So I'll bring that back in, show you how we're getting the transmission back in it, and transfer case. I'm switching those, remember, from the Quadra-Trac to a Dina 20, and working on that as well. Again, here's my wrecker. You can tell that it doesn't quite sit evenly. So yeah, we're gonna work on the back axle, get it a little more straight so that it sits right. And then I've decided I'm gonna put it on 37s. I've got some real nice ground clearance here. Yeah, it's gonna go on 37s. I've got a set of 37s off another project I can put on it. It's gonna be a monster. I've got another couple of winches to put on. I'm gonna put a winch in the back here to control the boom lift. You can see up here the boom lift has this cable, and all it does is hook on the arms there. Well, I'm going to put another winch in between so that I can raise and lower it using the winch cable versus a different way, and then we'll be able to raise and lower the boom and get it to where I can bring it down and lengthen it or shorten it depending on what we need. So that will be coming as well. So that's kind of a breakdown of the projects we got set forward. Again, we appreciate everyone that has subscribed and watched our videos. It's super fun working on Jeeps, especially CJs. It's great meeting different people and enjoying just being able to do this. Maybe eventually when I retire I can do this full time. It would be great. So again, Merry Christmas everyone. Happy New Year. You Bronco guys, if you've been really good this year, maybe Santa will bring you a CJ and you can be cool with the rest of us. No offense to the Bronco guys. Keep those CJs rolling. Thanks for watching.